Hi Sagittarius, welcome back. So Sagittarius, this is going to be a reading for September. It's a general, so not going to be for all of you, but if it resonates, please do like, share, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get started. So Sagittarius, coming up this month, the overall energy for you is the North Node of Destiny. I actually got this card in your last weekly reading, so check that out. But this card talks about the soul school, you know, learning curves, our fulfillment, our purposes. And so you might be putting a lot of emphasis onto your purpose and what fulfills you, what doesn't fulfill you, what feels like fate, what doesn't feel like fate. And, you know, I think that you're going to be looking at all areas of life as well. So I don't think you're just going to look at one area like career, but not the other. I think you're going to look at the big picture of what is fulfilling to you and what's not, and start making some decisions there. It's all about the process this month. It's all about following your path and really honing into on your integrity. So I think, you know, taking into consideration not just what emotionally fulfills you, but what's in alignment with who you feel you are on an integral level. Does that make sense? So making decisions that are in alignment with that is going to be important for you in the month of September. So let's see what energy you're coming into September with, Sagittarius. If you're new to me, welcome. Check out my social media account links down below, as well as my other YouTube link for my vlogs. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm going to do it different this month. I'm going to focus all my reading, most of my reading, on just you, Sagittarius, what you can expect, what energy you're dealing with. And for those of you dealing with a specific person or people, I will do that towards the end. Okay, so those of you who are interested in that, that'll be at the end, okay? So energy you're coming into September with is the Hanged Man. Isn't that what I just said? This is somebody who's getting a different perspective, you know. It's somebody that's waiting on enlightenment, looking for their path. It also talks about taking a necessary pause. So if you've been like balls to the wall, you know, I hope that didn't offend you. That's what popped into my mind. If you've been like ho-hum, no. Yeah. You know what I mean. If you've been like really, really just gung-ho going for it, I feel like some of you need a break. You know, you need to take a break and just relax and live in the moment for a little bit this month, Sagittarius. Kind of enjoy your surroundings. Think about how far you've come, and then think about how you got there, and then think about where you want to go next. Because, like I said, September is going to be this energy of destiny and figuring that out. And with the Hanged Man here, it's kind of like a bit of a stopping period. The word that also came to mind was like an appreciation, you know, an appreciation for what you have, because what you have now is something that you once wished for. And don't forget that, okay? Because a lot of times we wish for things, we get there, and then as soon as we get there over it, we're wishing for something else. And I do feel like Sagittarius, as a fire sign, you're always looking for that next adventure. You're always looking for what's next. You're a very future forward sign. So it can be really easy to get into that mode. You know what I'm saying? And so the message this month is to, you know, appreciate where you're at in this moment. Okay. So let's go a little bit further into this and see what other messages we get out here for Sagittarius. All right, so you have the Five of Pentacles here, you know, and then the Emperor here. Then you have the Ace of Cups and Death card. Okay. So, yeah. Sagittarius, I feel like you know, there's going to be points in time in the month, or there may have been recently, because the timeline is going to be different for all of you, that you felt isolated. You know what I'm saying? Or have isolated yourself, okay? And I feel like that's kind of going hand in hand with this Hanged Man energy. That's that pause energy I was talking about. I feel like, you know, it's all about keeping it humble, Sagittarius, keeping it humble. Because when we get too aggressive, when we become the emperor, yes, this person knows a lot. This is a wise person. This is a confident person. But also the emperor energy is someone who at times may come off arrogant or not humble. And so that's a caution. So I'm not saying you are doing that, but that is something to watch for this month. I think it's going to become really obvious to you this month too, that there's really a fine line between confidence and ego. And sometimes when we're feeling at our best and we're putting ourselves out there, you know, letting our star shine, going back to your overall energy, people who maybe are in a place that aren't that shining star, people who are in a place of lack, people who see that but feel left out, they will perceive that as egotistical simply because they don't have that. It's actually a message to that person, not about you and who you are, but about what they're lacking, or vice versa, okay? So whether that's someone doing that to you or you doing that to them, that's the overall message or lesson, is to keep that in mind, all right? Because I do feel that after you have this break period where you kind of isolate and you may want to be like all up in your head, some of you want to be in your comfort space, you know, then I feel that that energy is going to shift and change, especially towards middle end of the month, because I have the Death card out, which talks about endings, but also change, also transformation. And in life, there's not really endings. There is just another doorway to another beginning. You know what I'm saying? And I like that the Ace of Cups is following it. So I feel like there's going to be an ending to this isolation energy, okay? And a reconsideration here to be had. Reconsideration. That was an important word. And then things are going to change. Oh, yeah. And I feel like that emotional fulfillment is coming. So isn't that how I started the reading? Sagittarius, that you were on this path to figure out where your destiny or your fulfillment is. I feel like here that change comes. And you know what? I think that you're going to find out. I think you're going to find out that it doesn't really matter what path you choose. Because happiness is an internal job. Right? So, I'm going to get a little bit more clarification on the Ace of Cups. Also, Sagittarius, if you've been feeling broke, broke or broken, that could be either or, financially or emotionally. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's caused you to be a little bit stern or protective. I feel that that energy is going to shift and change this month, towards the end of the month. And I feel that you're going to open up again emotionally. You're going to open up to more a loving vibe. And I think that there'll be some new possibilities here as well, okay? To have a new or renew. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to get a few extra cards out on what the Ace of Cups was about. And goodness gracious, Ten of Pentacles. The Wheel. King of Cups. That's what I was just saying, right? I feel like that that karma, that wheel of fortune, that destiny that you started here with, that wheel is turning, and it's turning heavily into your favor towards the end of September, because the Ten of Pentacles talks about wealth. So here you are starting out the month in this lack mentality, and you're ending the month in a wealth mentality. There's a huge difference. And I think that you're actually going to see tangible results of that. Okay, so I feel like if you feel like you're lacking something, whether that's financially or emotionally or both, I feel that you're going to get into a much more stable, much more comfortable, and a much more abundant type of energy. That's what you're going to be shifting into in September. And what's pushing you there is you're going to get tired. A lot of you are tired of feeling sorry, I had like 3 different messages. I had the song I Think We're Alone Now come into my head. No clue why. I think we're alone now. At the same exact time, I had I don't feel like I belong was the term that came through. That could be you or somebody around you. Like maybe feeling like you don't really know what your place is in the world sometimes. Like not really feeling like you're belonging. Or, yeah, that's the message I got. And I feel like that's past energy, possibly present energy, but we're definitely leaving that behind over the next 3 weeks. Or that energy is changing. It's coming to an end. It's shifting. And like I said, it's going into a much more emotionally available energy. But also a very emotional energy. I got a lot of water out here. A lot of water. So be careful with that, because Sagittarius, when you get too into your emotions, you can be a tad bit moody. And you know it. And I love you. But yes, Sagittarius can be a tad bit moody when their emotions get too much. Okay, so that's going to be a caution towards the end of the month. But I actually see you being pretty stable with it and emotionally maturing, growing, spiritually as well. Okay? So I feel like it's a lot of blue. Like there's a lot of blue in the cards, and Sagittarius, you're a fire sign. So I like to see a lot of red when I do your readings. But I feel that this month is going to be more emotional. I think like I said at the very beginning, some of you have been like all go hung. I always forget sayings, you know, like balls to the wall energy. And I feel like this month, at least the first part, is going to be like chill. Chill. You'll get there. You'll get there. At the bottom of the deck, Temperance card. That's that mood control I was telling you about. It's knowing alchemy, the balance. Also the card of Sagittarius, you. And it's in the upright, so I like it. But beneath that, the Chariot moving forward. Okay? So, yeah. All right. So if you're only interested in you and what your energy was for this month, this is where the reading ends for you. Okay? And I wish you the best. For those of you dealing with a specific person or people and you would like to know what's going on with them this month, then this portion of the reading is for you, and you can continue to watch if you'd like. All right. So Sagittarius, person you're dealing with. Wow. Okay. They're starting out the month with the 10 of Pentacles. So if you remember, that's what you ended the month on. So I feel like beginning the month, this person has obtained what you're going towards. So I feel that this person, I don't want to say is matching your energy, because honestly, I feel like they're a little bit further ahead in the game than you are. But I feel like you're getting there, you know. You're growing towards that. Now, this person has already achieved some sort of either wealth or comfort, or they're just in a more stable energy. Could be either or. It's interesting, though, because as I go further into who you might be dealing with, I got out the Devil card and the World card. So I think that this person has, yeah, they've got a lot of good going for them, but also they've got their own demons that they need to deal with, their own issues that they need to deal with. This person might have some codependencies, okay, in whatever shape or form that may take for them. I feel like, too, this person is someone who has the attention or accolades that you're striving for, like I said. Does that make sense? Like, in some respect or another, this person is more somewhat stable than you, but in other respects, they have also a lot to work on that you don't have to work on. Do you know what I'm saying? And remember that message that I said earlier about how people who don't have what someone else's people who do not have what someone else does and they want it, they can become very judgmental of that person. And like, that's kind of the energy I'm picking up. It's like, I actually think that you do this to each other, where it's like, I have this, you know, or you may have this over me, but I'm not like that. Or I have this. And this person's stance may be, well, yeah, you may have that, but I have this. You know, it's almost like a compare-contrast vibe. It could just be on one side. It could be on both sides. It's going to be different for all of you. It's a general reading. It's not your personal. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, the judgment is actually coming from a place of lack. And as I say, judgment, they have the 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups in the reverse. So this person's going to show you their true colors. Oh, yeah. They're going to show their true ass. They're a bare bum. No, seriously. They're going to show you their colors at the end of September. And it's interesting because it's like, as you progress and change through September, and I've been seeing Sagittarius is going through a lot of changes. In fact, I think that was the name of last month's reading. This person is getting more and more and more insecure. And then there's this conflict here towards the end of September where, yeah, they may try to cut you down with words. And then this confusion, if there's been confusion surrounding the situation, it's going to lift. Why? Because this person's going to show you their true colors. And that actually might make you pretty emotional. Because I feel like whoever this is, to some degree or another, you care about this person. You know, you don't have the Ace of Cups here for nothing, right? It's the 5 of Swords. Yeah. Knight of Cups in the reverse. They're shutting down emotionally and becoming quite cold, quite detached, you know, and that's something that they need to work on. And that's an internal job. That's not your job. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, interesting. I feel like this person has a lot of emotional maturity to grow, to work with, to work on. They have a lot going for them in some ways or another, but I feel like the underlying issue here is this somewhat like I said, emotional, immature vibe, codependent type of vibe, one-upping, nastiness. And this is just a snapshot. So I'm not saying like this person is like this all the time, but in September, it's like they're really sinking into it. You know, they're really sinking into the negative here. And you're over here building up. So it's like while you go up, this person goes down. And I think that there is clearly a lesson to be learned here, because I do have the karmic wheel, and this card is about destiny and the soul school. And so, really interesting message. I think you're going to learn some parts of this person that maybe you didn't know before. Yeah. I feel like this person is trying to overcome these issues. But they're bottling it in. And so what you bottle in is bound to come out, you know. And that, I think for you, it's going to change things. It's going to change your emotional response to how you behave with this person. Okay? So that's your reading. And just keep in mind that this person can be intimate love. It can be an ex, but not always. Okay? So sometimes this could be a coworker, a family member, a friend. Come back to the reading at the end of September and then rewatch it after things transpire. It will make more sense to you. Okay? But zodiac signs you might be dealing with, Capricorn, Leo. Could be Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Aries. Those are the predominant zodiac signs, or another Sagittarius. And I always think of the North Node destiny as Aquarius. So that could be the zodiac signs you're dealing with, or sign you're dealing with. Those could be placements in your birth chart, or the person you're dealing with. Or it could just be the energy surrounding the situation as a general. But I wish you all the very best, Sagittarius, and catch me next time. Until then, namaste, my friends. Bye.